People say real estate is a scam. Just the same way they say school is a scam. Do you agree with that?
I lost about 6 million naira to MMM that year. My only saving grace in 2016 was the 2 plots of land I bought in 2008. 8 years after, I bought that land to 50,000. I can tell you for free that I sold the 2 land for 4.5 million.
Are you saying real estate is the best form of investment because of the security it has, or you are talking in terms of ROI?
I've heard of people that used to give ram, give ororo,
Buy one plot, get 1 ram for free.
and then all of a sudden they are looking for their land. They can't find it. They have not allocated land for me since the time I bought it. What do you have to say about that? Or is Kemsan one of those?
Well, like I said, we have just 2 real estate firms in the country, Kemsan Acres Global Limited and others.
Elonia, this month is a month of love, obviously. But what is the best way to show you love than to bring the top mind in real estate to discuss the subject with you? Most of you are wondering, where should I put my money? And last week we brought someone here to talk about why he thinks putting your money in real estate is a solid way to consolidate your money. It's the future. It's how, I like the way he put it. He said, tech money is owafefe. That is his airtime. It's money that can disappear in a space of a second. But when you put it in real estate, it consolidates your wealth. Will the guests in the house today agree with him? He's also one of the big names in real estate. And I would like him to introduce himself. You are welcome, Mr. Kemsan.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ambassador Dr. Oluwaseun Owosheni. I am the MD CEO of Kemsan Acres Global Limited, a real estate firm operating in 7 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And I'm here to give you guys a little bit of my knowledge on real estate. Thank you.
Wow, I love his humble nature. You know, a little bit of his knowledge. Someone running 7 offices across Nigeria is not a small name. And I promise you, that's the kind of guest I want to be seeing. And on this screen, I'm presenting to you the best quality advice you can find on the internet. This is not some sort of things that you find Googling. This is things that you find from real experts talking about the subject matter and detailing the nuances for you. So today, I think my first question, like I always say, people say real estate is a scam. Just the same way they will say school is a scam. The same way they will say marriage is a scam or something. Do you agree with that? No, sure. What's the real estate? Is it a scam?
Well, if people say real estate is a scam, just like you mentioned, it is still depends on individual mentality, or your perception. How do you perceive it? Just like you mentioned, so people say school is a scam, real estate is a scam. If you go to oil and gas, they say oil and gas is a scam. If you say tech is a scam. Crypto is a scam. You know, so it still depends on individual perception about it, right? I can remember then while we were in school when they would say we should just do debates. You either be for or against, right? So if we bring some people down here to come and defend and tell us, why do you think school is a scam? Someone who is to go for will have something tangible.
We have argument to say.
to talk about it. And who is going against to, if you're not careful, he will definitely want to convince you that truly, it seems school is a scam. So
exactly.
I believe it depends on individuals' perception. So that's what I say about that.
So now, I understand that all of life is perception. I think yesterday we were discussing something like that in economics, you will see an argument, they will say rivalry in the market, unhealthy rivalry. You know, this at the same time, the opposite argument is fair competition, that there's competition in the market. So of course, it will enhance innovation. That will be there. Same point. Plenty people are in the market, they are fighting for resources, so it will enhance the market. And the same point, you say, no, plenty people are in the market, they are fighting for resources, so it's unhealthy. So I get that part. But now, what do you think about real estate? If you are talking to you yourself, for instance, 10 years ago, or you are talking to a young you that is just making a couple of 100 million, you know, or 50 million a year, or just, you know, a couple of thousands of dollars from there, what will you tell that person about real estate? What do you think that person should know before saying real estate is a scam or real estate is something I should invest in or something like that, before making that black and white decision?
Okay. You see, let me just speak briefly about real estate.
Mm.
Real estate is an industry that or a business or whatsoever we individual term it as.
Mm.
It still remains the best investment on earth,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That's real
Why
estate.
so? Why so?
If you agree with me, if you bring down or bring forward 10 billionaires today,
Mm.
hardly will you see 1 out of 10 that is not into real estate. It's not possible.
Mm.
Everyone, we are, if you are a billionaire, I'm using we because to the glory of God, I think I've joined that billionaire
Least.
Kedar,
Mhm.
even though we are pushing to be a billionaire in dollars. If God be for us,
I think I joined
Right.
that league in 2022 when my company was valuated as $5 million. So I'm like, okay, yeah,
okay.
now we are
So-
a billionaire.
So I've joined that billionaire Kedar, right? So we as billionaires, if you bring billionaires together, hardly will you see anyone who is not into real estate. So why am I saying this? I remember then I'm trying to be practical here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not what I was told. This is what actually happened
To
to
you.
me,
Experience.
right? Life experience. So after my secondary school back then, I think sometime 2007, 2008, I struggled. I saved up to buy 2 plots of land in Ifo, Ogun State.
Okay.
And then I just left it there, kept it, and I bought it then for 250,000. Right.
Wow.
So after a couple of years, I went to school, University of Illinois. I finished from University of Illinois as an economist. So after a couple of years, I went to serve. After my service year, I already saved up. I worked while I was in school. I did so many businesses, different businesses, because I've always been this entrepreneur guy.
Mm-hmm.
Though you just have to go to school.
Mhm.
So after my schooling, and I just decided to I tendered my certificate to my parents that, okay, this is what you have sent me to
To
school.
school
for.
to do.
Yeah, this is your certificate. So then I was hustling. Even during my service year, I gathered up, I saved up, and I had some millions. So unfortunately, MMM came in 2016.
Okay.
MMM came, man. We all know what happened. I can see you're laughing because we all know the experience then. MMM experience was something else, but we thank God.
Okay.
So MMM came and MMM took away all I had, all my
Okay.
savings.
Wow.
I think I lost about 6 million naira to MMM that
Ooh.
year.
Ooh.
6M. So I went back to square one.
Wow.
I was left with maybe 45 or 35,000 naira. Someone that has been having millions of naira in his account and all. So
Wow.
my only saving grace in 2016 was the 2 plots of land I bought in 2008.
Mm.
8 years after, I bought that land 250,000. I can tell you for free that I sold the 2 land for 4.5 million
Wow.
Interesting.
in 2016. 8 years after, I
Wow.
bought for 250,000 and I sold for 4.5 million. So, what would someone tell me about real estate being scammed that I would accept?
Mm.
To someone like me,
That's more about 16x return, something like that.
Yes.
I was looking at.
do you understand? So, and looking at that kind of investment, and I see how that was able to save me, because we are in Nigeria. If you're not from a receiver's phone, at least we all know what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not from a receiver's phone, life is leading you either 1 or 2-0.
Or 2-0 already. Or even 3-0.
Or 3-0. So life is leading you already. So you just have to know how you're going to make your way out of it. Right. So luckily for me, I was able to have that. And afterwards, I started looking for a job again. I was able to use that money to get something. I bought a car. I got myself an apartment. I set up. I know life was about to begin for a fresh graduate. Unlike those days that as you are graduating, there's several jobs waiting for you, but you just have to face the challenges of life. So that was how I started. And I found myself working in a real estate firm in Ilorin.
Okay.
And that was when I started working, and before I know it, I got promoted because I understood real estate. So when I joined the firm, I have invested practically and I made my money. So when I joined the firm, I was able to interpret what I know, the experience I've had, and what knowledge I had about real estate, and I was able to make it fast. And that was how I climbed the ladder to
And
the level of the branch manager, and that was how the journey began back then. That was
Wow.
2017.
interesting.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting you right, your story reflects that you invested in real estate quite early.
Yes.
As it was many of the,
Yes.
and that pay off in return. Now, here's the problem that I think most young people are having with the idea of real estate. If they invest in real estate, right, and they are looking at crypto, for instance, as an alternative, and you can take Trump coin, for instance, you put money in Trump coin, and tomorrow morning it has turned to times 10, right? Or take tech companies, for instance, some of them in 5 years they become $1 billion company, and many people cash out big. Right? Many of people that so I think that's where they are trying to find the balance. It's real estate that space where they can, put their money instead of all these other opportunities.
Okay. This adage says, do not put your eggs,
In one
all
basket.
your eggs in one basket, right? So I would not even discourage anyone who tend to diversify.
Okay.
You're into real estate, you're into tech, you're into this and all of that. As I am, I run a real estate firm. I own a real estate firm, a multi-billionaire real estate firm at that, with about 185 staff, right? But then I am still into cryptocurrency.
Interesting.
I do crypto, right? So, and I also make my money from crypto. But I wouldn't say because I am into real estate, I will not do crypto. I wouldn't say because I'm making money from crypto, I will not do real estate. Do you understand? But all I'm just saying is that since I was born, and now I think there's a song like that. Since I was born, and now I am getting old. Do you understand? And now I am getting old.
I've
never seen an investment that is best as real estate.
Wow.
That is the fact.
Interesting.
Yes.
So now, Josh, what question do you have for him? Because, he runs a real estate company, and I think he has provided light into a basic understanding of how you should see real estate. If you see it as a diversification of your portfolio, something more solid to invest in is as against, crypto. You might have a proper understanding of crypto, maybe have proper understanding of tech or tech investing or stock. Adding real estate to your portfolio seems like a great thing. But of course, you will not believe him because he's talking as a real estate, face. He's the one that owns the company. So Josh, what question do you have for the real estate?
Okay, so my question is this, right? Are you saying real estate is the best form of investment because of the security it has, or you are talking in terms of ROI?
Okay, thank you. It's just so unfortunate that I am the only real estate man here sitting here.
Okay.
I wish I had another real estate person beside me who can just testify to what I'm saying.
a tech, media, and fashion guy, actually.
Okay, so in terms of investment, in terms of return on investment, and in terms of security, right? As much as you can do your due diligence, get the proper property, or you invest rightly, you invest in a very right way, right? It's still the best investment. And in terms security wise, your money is safe, it's secure. For instance,
do you think there are more secure routes than real estate?
Well, there might be, but I have not seen any that will give you that peace of mind, and you will be sleeping and your money will be growing. There might be. Okay. Don't get me wrong. But for me, I've not seen any.
The thing is that there is what we call treasury bill. Right.
Of course.
So in terms of ROI, it doesn't. You might argue that it doesn't match up, right? Because I think Nigeria's treasury bill right now from the government, backed by federal government, is at 27%.
Yes.
Right now, 21% per annum. But if you check the yield, it will be like 27% at the end of the day.
That's right.
And then that's backed by the faith in the federal government. You understand? So I've not seen how do you think real estate is that match that in terms of store value, security? That's one.
Okay.
And then, so I think it edges real estate in terms of that. That's one. And if you are saying that real estate is best in terms of security.
Return. I think
I mean,
security is what treasury
Treasury bill.
portfolio like treasury bill would do for you.
Yeah.
But in terms of return, I think that's
In terms of
secondary.
return, you know, there are other alternatives that even hedges out real estate
Okay.
if it's about return. So I'm just saying it's not like it's absolute as painted. You get? It's not like it's
So your question is that if treasury bill beats real estate with security,
with security.
right?
Yeah.
Are you arguing that treasury bill also beats real estate?
No.
with-
By arrow, I know it doesn't.
So now for him,
in 4 years, right?
Mhm.
With treasury bill, you will double your money.
okay.
In
You
4
understand?
years.
You in 4
4
years.
years.
So it doesn't match. Given the times
return,
16 that you
yes,
gave
yes,
in
yes,
short time, so it
yes.
doesn't match in terms of it's just in terms of security that he hedges it.
All right. So
So okay.
are you guys agreeing on that? Or-
Okay, well,
What's the
since we are not on a debate seat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Obviously,
so-
it's not. I don't think it's debate. It's trying to
So,
clarify whether it's the best.
Yeah. So, well, in terms of security,
Mm.
I wouldn't say real estate is lacking in terms of security,
Mm.
right? Because I can remember that my great grandfather once told me that the Banana Island of today,
Mm-hmm.
that they used to call it Idogede.
Banana Island is
Idogede.
same.
Like when they want to go to that ASICS, they say that Mondosi Idogede.
Wow.
Do you understand? And some people then, we are talking about, if not up to century now,
Yeah.
100 years.
100 years,
Yeah.
right? So some people key into this and they bought then. And look at this, look at 100 years. And they're still making their money from it till date.
Mhm.
And even their unborn generation will still come and still meet this luxury. Do you understand? And it keeps increasing over time. So in terms of security, I just feel like the only challenge real estate would be having in terms of security is doing it right.
That's where I want to double down because you
That is
mentioned it earlier,
Doing it right.
which is the doing it right part, right? Because I noticed that this is obviously a case that is in the majority. I noticed one thing. A real estate company will say the pre-launch value of their land is 500,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will say 2 days to launching value is 750.
Mm-hmm.
Then the launching day value is 1 million naira.
Mhm.
Then 1 week after launching day is 2 million naira.
Yes.
Then maybe 4 weeks after is now 7 million. You know, there's this pumping that I'm seeing in the real estate ecosystem. And then it's not as if it's not properly studied across board, whether in the US or whatever. There's a pump of value that often even I think Trump was guilty of it as a crime at one point.
Inflated.
Inflated property value, right? And you know, and then it will collapse. And then by the time you want to liquidate your assets, you know, it might not really have that traction as portrayed by the real estate company. And you are talking about the right way. That's why I want to know about the right way.
Okay.
So, and then the second thing is that there's this concern that I see that people level up with me that, okay, a real estate company is going to give, let's say, 15% commission to their salesperson. The real estate company is probably making another 25 to 45% on that real estate. So if the land is, say, how much? 10 million naira. And then 15% minus 25 to 45%, at max, that about 50% is gone. 50% of the value is already allocated in the transaction. What happens to the value of what I just bought? You know, those are the concern.
Thank you. You see, what you have said, the analysis you gave
Yeah,
is exactly what is happening in the industry, right?
good.
But then, I wouldn't say you are right and I wouldn't say you are wrong.
Okay.
Because I want to believe that, you know, everyone has a strategy being used to, you know, to just keep doing your business and all. So, when the part where you mentioned sometimes pre-launch 500,000 at launch 750 afterwards. So
That's how
let me say this.
Okay.
It could be a strategy.
to-
It could be that the actual price this firm wants to sell is 1 million naira, right? So
Okay.
that is the actual price. That is the worth of the property,
Okay.
right? But in order to attract investors, they decided to use a strategy that, okay, let us bring the price down
Okay.
so that when people start to test the market. Yes, there are some businesses that you just have to bring a particular price to
Find a way
test,
to find.
just to test the market.
I think some people used to give ram and,
Yes.
and bag of rice and ororo.
Would people be interested in that location? So
Okay.
just to test the market, and when that occur, and you see that okay, people are now interested, then you now tend to start taking your price to the actual price. So it's not from the angle of unnecessary pumping. That okay, 1 million, 750, 500 today, then you go to 750, then the next thing 1 million. That's unnecessary pumping, but that is not it. In most cases, that's why I say you might be right or you might be wrong. I only know about my own firm.
Okay.
And we have just 2 real estate firms in the country, Kemsan and others.
I like that.
So I only know about my firm. So, which in my firm too, if you want to sell a property, for instance, for 2 million naira, 2 million, okay, let us attract first-time investors. Let us go to 1 million naira. Let people invest. So then, then there's some parts we want to sell for that price. Okay, let's say we have 50 plots now. We'll divide that 50 plots into 4. First 25 plots, we are selling for first 15 plots, rather, we are selling for so amount. Another 15 plots, so amount. Then 10 plots. Then, do you understand?
Yeah.
It's still business strategy. Do you understand? So it's not that because we are selling, we are now pumping the price. No. But it is what has been prearranged that this is how we want
what I'm getting at, it's baked into the mathematical model, for how to sell that product.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So, but the concern now having is that, does that not speak to the value of the product as not to what the actual price?
No.
I don't know whether you get.
No. Okay, for instance, let me cite an example for you. If I think you're familiar with Lagos.
Yes, sure.
Definitely.
I have a couple of properties.
If you want to enter Danfo those days, when the Danfo first speak, they can say, Yanakwaja, 50-50 naira. But before you move to another bus stop, Yanakwaja 150.
Exactly.
Now
they have a couple of people inside the bus.
Because when they get to a particular bus stop and they see crowd, do you understand? And they say, Yanakwaja 150. So now, that does not mean that because they increase it to 150 naira per whatever, that does not mean that they are exploiting their customers. But because law of
demand
and supply.
Yeah.
Do you understand? When there is high demand, do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
So price tend to increase. And that is just what some company implements. Do you understand? When there's high demand, okay, and I think for every business person, logically now, I think sometimes it might even come as a reflex action. Maybe you are selling this phone, you are selling this food 6. You are selling this food, and you just put 10 on the table. And before you know it, 9 people don't come, say they want to buy food out of 10. What is happening? You
might even be thinking that, maybe they find it cheaper here.
That is it. Okay. Then the next thing, you just pause. And okay, no, the price has increased. Do you understand? So that's
so if I'm getting you right, the pricing in real estate is as much on the market psychology than
one is part of it,
than even the value of the land per se.
Value, that I said, is part of it. Value is also part of it. Location
is part of it.
It's part of it. Do you understand? So that is it.
So now I have with me someone in the studio that I used to know. He's a law student at the University of Ibadan, and last year he made more than 24 million working with the company. And he's there. He want to ask you a question. Okay. Tracy, what's your question to this awesome real estate mogul? He has been breaking it down for us. He has been showing us the perception on real estate, how you should think about it. It's all about the same way that if you want to buy Bitcoin is mostly about how many people are demanding for Bitcoin. The same way you want to buy Litecoin or any of those things, it's about how many people are willing to hold, buy, and trade with Bitcoin. It's about perception, and then there's a little bit of value there because, it's a tokenized transaction, that kind of thing. There's a value in the chain system, there's a bond rate, there's everything. So I think it's qualifying. And then location, because you cannot sell a land in somewhere like this. Of course, land in area like this is already 6 million per plot. You cannot just wake up one day and say it's 60 million. This is not lucky. So I think I get some part of that dialogue. Which question do you want to ask him? Someone of your caliber that is making that much. What question you want to ask him?
I would like to ask him that for a student that is making that is making decent amount of money.
Mm.
What are recommendations for such a person when it comes to real estate? Or will you say that the person should not dabble into real estate until after his school or whatever?
Okay. Thank you. You know, like I mentioned, we have different kind of real estate. Real estate is broad.
Mm-hmm.
So as a student, you can either come in as an investor into real estate, or you come in as a developer, which I am one of them,
Okay.
into real estate, or you come in as a stakeholder,
Mm.
or you come in as
Which one is stakeholder again?
yeah, the stakeholder that I'm talking about is still more of the either investor or you partner with a real estate firm,
Okay.
whereby you as a stakeholder, whereby, for instance, Kemsan Acres Global Limited now. Oh, Kemsan, I can see that you have some acres of
Property.
land
Mm-hmm.
in Olodo Aziz
Mm.
of Ibadan. I don't have that money to buy all,
Mm.
but can I get some fraction because I want to resell?
Mm.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
Because that would save you from
All
the buying it right that I mentioned.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The buying it right that I mentioned, because it will save you from the stress of going to verify the documentation, maintaining family for meeting, you know, all the other things
all
that
those
encompasses
works, you know.
you buying
The due diligence.
The due diligence. Do you understand? So
Mm.
you can come in and say, okay, you can own an estate in an estate.
Mm.
If you have that fund, you can decide to buy an estate and create your own estate within Kemsan Estate. We have stakeholders like that.
Like that.
We have people that come in like that and they decide to buy 5 acres. 5 acres is like 30 plots of land,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And they buy 10 acres. I have a customer that bought, I think 20 acres.
Mm.
That's 120 plots.
Thoughts.
And he's currently fencing within
The
an
Kemsa-
estate.
Yeah.
The company has about 150 acres there.
Mm.
And this man bought 20 acres. So you can come as a stakeholder. So it depends on your financial capacity. Or you come in as a sales partner.
Mm.
You're also doing real estate. You come as a sales partner. Okay, Kemsan, you have property in Lagos, you have in Abeokuta, you have in Ilorin, you have in Abuja, you have in Osun, you have in Ekiti, you have in Ibadan. So I want to come, I'm a student. I want to partner with you. I want to come as a sales partner, right? So because you do not have that liquidity to say you want to start buying to resell, but you can join Kemsan to sell. And you make your money.
So I want to push back on the partnership part.
Okay.
So as a student that is trying to be a partner, for instance,
Yes.
how does do you have a way you can bridge the gap so that he won't fall into the trap of introducing like people to the real estate company, and then the person will go and meet the real estate company on their own? So his own part of
Commissions
his own commission is going to disappear.
Well, I don't know how it works in other firms, but I will be using Kemsan as a case study.
Of course, now you are the.
So I don't know how it works in other firms. So in my firm,
Okay.
if you have spoken to Mr. Timmy about property, that okay, you want him to patronize Kemsan, right? And Mr. Timmy now feels like, oh, Kemsan is my brother and I know him to someone. Let me go and meet Kemsan direct, right? In our firm, we would ask him, how do you get to know about this particular property? Because we have several, I think my company, we have about 30, even if I'm not mistaken, about 39 estates now.
Right now.
In the country.
Brilliant.
So, how do you get to know about this particular estate? But anyone can get to know about Kemsan. Kemsan is a brand that is visible.
Okay.
Right? But about a particular product, how do you get to know about this product? Then he will definitely mention your name. And if it does not mention your name and you later find out that this man has bought from the company and all we just need is evidence of when you started communicating with this man, what's the date? Then when did this man, and we trace it, is there no one else coming up? Because we have so many marketers.
Okay.
We have so many sales partners. We have so many people selling, pushing. So is there no one else claiming that this is my client?
So, listeners, you are seeing that.
So, do you understand?
If you want to be a sales partner, I think you are seeing a very viable partner to work with now.
So, once you're able to verify that, then you get your commission without anyone taking from it.
Okay,
That's how it works.
before we wrap all of this up, I think we have not answered one of my questions, which is that if the company is making 45%, the sales person is making 15, 20% on the, what happened to the value of the land I just bought? Did I just spend 5 million or did I just spend 10 million on my properties?
Do you know
It's
that
very important.
you mentioned something now?
Mm-hmm.
You said in this locality, this place,
Exactly.
a plot of land is selling like 6 million.
Exactly.
Do you know that I can come here and I sell a plot of land for 50 million?
Mm.
It depends on what I am offering. Do you understand?
Okay. You can break
For
down.
instance,
Yeah.
I see some parcel of land, maybe about 5 or 6 acres of land, just right beside there.
Mm-hmm.
I fence it one. You're having this, you're having a smart city, you're having a automated gate, you're having this, and I put all my amenities
Mm.
and I put my pricing. It is what I am offering you, what I want to deliver on that, in that estate, on that portion.
The facilities that you make
It is
available.
what will determine the value.
Mm.
Do you understand? If you buy a plot of land in this same place
Mm-hmm.
and you just do your clearing and you want to sell for 6 million, and I bought a plot of land beside yours
Mm.
and I did my perimeter fencing and I put my gate, you can't expect me to sell the same amount you are selling yours.
Exactly.
If you are selling for 5 million, I would rather say my 10 million or 15 million because I have done my perimeter fencing, I've perfected my documentation, I've done, do you understand? So all of those things come together to determine the value of a particular product.
Okay, let me ask you this final question so that we
Yeah.
can wrap it up for this session. I've heard of people that used to give ram, give bororo, give
Buy one plot, get 1 ram for free.
and then all of a sudden they are looking for their land. They can't find it. They have not allocated land for me since the time I bought it. I can't find my land. What do you have to say about that? Or is Kemsan one of those?
Well, like I said earlier, we have just 2 real estate firms in the country. Kemsan Acres Global Limited and others.
I know that.
So, well, we never can tell. Maybe those that gave ram and all, maybe they are still keeping their land for them. We don't know. But for my firm,
You said you pay 1 million and you collect ram, you collect that from right, you collect bororo. What else are you expecting?
so for my firm, I've been operating now. Currently I have about 9 years experience in real estate, but Kemsan is 6 years in the game.
In the business.
And to the glory of God, we have been topping the charts, right?
Yeah.
So and whenever we promise, whatever we say, because I don't want to say anything that will be quoted here. As I am sitting as the vice chairman, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State chapter.
Read that.
Yeah, Redan Oyo State chapter. So I'm the vice chairman. So and I would not want to be quoted
Wonderful.
for anything. But all I just say is that probably those that gave you RAM and all of that, they are still keeping your land for you. So when you are ready, they will give you your land.
You have a
I
final
think I
question.
have a final question. actually.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's still about the security of real estate, actually. Now, my own concern, I think many of our viewers will have that concern as well. Because,
Okay.
of course, real estate is secure. I like to buy that. But then, we've seen cases that people invested $100 million. This popular case of, what's it called? Calabar Costa.
Yes.
Paul Olu and
Yes.
he said they invested $100 million.
Yes,
And then they said, no,
and
landmark.
demolished. Yes,
They
yes,
yanked it off.
yes.
And that's it. After God, na government. You understand? And then they took that over. Money gone, 100 million in the drain. That's one. And then we've seen several cases that they will just, this Wahab guy, Lagos State, in charge of environment and we just carry their bulldozer and then they will yank off buildings. We've seen that as well in every
FCT,
case,
even
FCT. You understand? It keeps happening over and over again. So my question is now that, okay, so if we don't even need natural disaster to rip you off your investment in real estate, what does Kemsan have
To mitigate those.
mitigate all of those risks attached to real estate?
Thank you. You mentioned something. You said after God, not government.
Government. Aji.
We all know this. But then, at times, it's not the fault of the firm, of the company.
Okay.
Right? Even when due diligence is being met, like you have confirmed the authenticity of the land, the documentation, hope is not under government acquisition, and you have checked all of this, right? there is in the 1978 Land Use Act says that if peradventure
The government wake up.
the government wake up and they want to make use of your land for a
Governmental use for official reasons.
for official thank you
For official
for official uses, you just have to release it. So which is beyond anybody.
Yes,
Mention
yeah.
it. Yes, they will revoke your CFO. That is it. So that's why I love the statement where you mentioned after God now government.
The government.
And you can't fight them. All you just need to do is just do your own proper documentation so that you can get compensated. So that can be wiped off
Okay.
following the Land Use Act of a thing. So it can't.
All right.
So I think
I think
that's
that's
all
the
I have to say about that.
So now, if people want to find you, how can they find you? Tell people your location, your address,
Okay.
your phone number. How, if they want to be a sales partner, they want to be a stakeholder, they want to be an investor, they want to be any
Thank
part of
you.
your company.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, my name remains Ambassador Dr. Luashin Woshin.
We should be opening cab, but we are not
I
opening
am
cab.
the MD Kemsan Acres Global Limited, and we operate in 7 states in Nigeria, where I have my managers that are representing me as the MD. My branch managers are in several states. Mention it. That is Lagos, Abuja, Ilorin, Ekiti, Abeokuta, Akure. So if you get to any of these locations, you can meet my managers there in person. But if you want to meet me, I am sitting here in Ibadan at the head office. So that is at Monoton Bus Stop, Kemsan Building, Iwo Road, Ibadan. So you can meet me there. And if you want to join us, you are welcome. We have a couple of young guys that are making it big, making a lot of money from real estate, even from Kemsan Acres Global Limited. So you can also join the family. You can make a lot of money. I can assure you that. So I think that's it.
All right. Phone number, website, anything
Okay,
that they can use to find you.
Kemsan website remains the same. www.kemsanacresglobalLTD.com www.kemsanacresglobalLTD.com and
Any official phone number?
And our phone number, official phone number, that is 081 0054 3997.
All right.
081 0054 3997. You can just WhatsApp, just send your WhatsApp message. And our Instagram handle, Kemsan_Acres_Global.
Wow.
You'll meet us on
So
Kemsan.
now you have heard from the CEO of a global brand that have decided to dominate Africa with real estate. And I'm sure you have been well enlightened on the subject of real estate and how to invest, how to be part of it, how government is superior than any other person, and how real estate can be seen as a very secure investment portfolio for you to start with, for you to put your money. Look at the story he told us about putting his money in MMM and how he used real estate to bounce back. So that can be your story too. And we'll see you in the next episode where we bring another CEO from real estate to talk about this subject matter. Thank you very much and thank you for watching.
Thank you.